It's my job, my duty, nay, my obligation to bring you the content that you deserve. Tall Girl 2. It's time. What is up, Netflix fans? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking Tall Girl, Too Tall, Too Furious. Wrong franchise. Regardless, I need you guys in the comments down below letting me know, did you like the first movie? Was a second one warranted? Let's talk about it. After Jodi gains popularity, her miscommunications start causing rifts with those around her, and now she really needs to stand tall. Is there a tall pun in the summary on IMDb? Because that's where I get these. Listen, Tall Girl was a movie about a tall girl, and I understand what they were trying to do with that film because there are genuinely some nice components when it comes to treating everyone equally and not singling someone out because they're tall or short or whatever it may be. And in this sequel, you get other examples. Someone who used to be overweight when they were younger, now they're kind of recalling that with Jodi. There are some nice things about the intentions. Why is this movie a thing? Why does it exist? There was absolutely no reason to continue that story. And even though I didn't like the first film, it did have a resolution that felt like a resolution. And what more do we need to see from these characters unless it compromises or almost takes away what they gave us in the first movie? And that's kind of what Tall Girl 2 is doing, because the whole idea behind the last film, other than to show what the character of Jodi had to go through and the bullying that she had to endure, was to, give us culmination to the relationship between Jodi and Jack. Griffin Gluck, who I love, was the best friend turned love interest, and that was that. That's it. But in this film, there is a fallout between the two. There's a new love interest that comes into the picture. It makes things a bit more complicated, throws us into kissing booth type territory where there are multiple love interests, or even to all the boys. But I don't want to put that franchise with this franchise because that one's so much better. And then I'm thinking to myself, how are they going to build tension? Like, Jodi is really popular now. Sure, she still has her enemies in Kimmy, like the bully type character that is still very much the bully. And of course, with this school play, musical, whatever it was, she is the understudy to our character of Jodi, because that's like the easiest thing to come up with, right? And that's how the conflict is going to start. And she gets in Jodi's head, right? Jodi is so confident that she can pull this off. And now she feels she has the ability to stand up and do her thing, because other people now see her as an equal as opposed to someone they can make fun of. So again, it's trying its best to spread this message, but it's also giving us quirky personality traits about characters. And in this bully character, she's doing everything she can possibly do to get in this poor girl's head, but she's going about it in a way that feels so unbelievable and unrealistic. And she feels like that classic, Disney Channel original movie villain when it comes to the way she treats some of these other students, to the point to where even her friends, it's like, nah, I've had enough. He's done. And I appreciate that. But when you have a character who's walking around and just talking about her plan to take this poor girl down, you've lost me with the writing at that point. And then the drama within the relationships and thinking we actually care as much as we do about the fallout between friends and the way they treat, and I understand the stuff that went down in the last movie, the way they treat poor Stig. The characters, because his sister comes into town this time from Sweden, they just feel so over the top and somewhat stereotypical. And I'm like, you're spreading this message not to make fun of the poor tall girl, and then you're bringing in this cliche, like, what is this? What's the message here? Angela Kinsey from The Office and Steve Zahn, they're back. They're in this movie. Why are you here? They're too good for this. Do better. I love Steve Zahn. He's one of my favorites. And again, intention-wise, the first one had the message of treating everyone equally, and this one's message is actually a good message if you can peel back the stupidity and look at it for what it's trying to do. And that is, everyone has that voice inside of their head telling them that they can't do something that they know they can do. And that's a very sweet message. So why pile all of this cliched teenage drama on top of it? Drama that we just don't care about. And then the ungenuine interaction between the characters that just feel like over the top. I mean, I understand that this movie's trying to be as over the top as possible, but when you have a character that is super confident in what she's trying to do, and then her friends, those that are supposed to be closest to her, are sitting and telling her, yeah, here's all of the things that can go wrong. This thing and that thing. It's like, who talks like that? No one in real life would talk like that. And that's how I feel about most of the interactions between these characters. They will say things and do things, but kids just don't interact that way. And I couldn't take the writing seriously because of that. They're trying to send this nice message. That is indeed a nice message. But the way that it's packaged and everything surrounding that in terms of the writing, I don't want to be too mean. The acting's definitely improved over the first. I'm sure there are nice intentions, especially from the actors here, having fun with their roles, I'm sure. But this is not a good movie. It's an unnecessary sequel. It makes me look at some of these shows that have been canceled on Netflix and just saying, why? You know, Griffin Gluck, American Vandal. Why did that show get canceled? But we get Tall Girl 2. I understand popularity is key here, but we also have to look at quality. And the worst thing about this film is that the idea feels aimless. Everything's revolving around her performance in a school play. Like, that's it. Before I give you my score, thanks so much for watching. If you like this video and this channel, be sure to drop your thumbs up down below. Tall Girl 2 is unnecessary. There's a nice message in there, but the film requires the audience to sit through everything else to get to it. My score is a 22%. I would like to see more of this cast, just in a different film, if that makes sense. Especially Steve Zahn. What are you doing, buddy? But I need to know down below, listen, if you disagree with me, that is absolutely okay. If you focused more on the message and you were able to get through the other stuff to get to that, well, more power to you. All right, guys, see you soon.